Lessons with Mrs. Lee, journalist, educator, from news leader to media instructor. And here's your host, Keisha Lee.
And our cameras are here at Phillips Arena covering the Atlanta Dream, and they're telling us why they think it's important to appreciate teachers. Stay tuned.
This is Laisha Clarendon with Atlanta Dream, and I play point guard, and this is Lessons with Lee.
Hey, this is Sierra Burdick with your Atlanta Dream, and you're watching Lessons with Lee.
I'm Robin Roberts, and this is Lessons with Mrs. Lee.
I don't have any regrets because I wouldn't be the person I am today.
One thing that I knew also because of my environment, I didn't want to stay in New York City.
On the positive side, the lessons that I learned because I was able to win.
Hey, I'm Jasmine Guy, and you know what? I studied hard. I still study hard, and I'm 50. Lesson with Mrs. Lee.
On three, 1, 2, 3. Teacher Appreciation Day. Tell us your favorite teacher and why.
Teacher in 7th grade, her name is Miss Williams. I went to Cheney Middle School in Baltimore, Maryland. And she was just a lot of fun. She enjoyed teaching. You can tell when a teacher enjoys actually teaching their students, and you can tell when they don't. Most of the kids pass their class because they enjoy learning. Absolutely. And I think if most kids enjoy learning, they'll pass.
And what kind of student were you? Tell the truth. Tell us the bad things.
I was a very hard-headed student, talked a lot in class, and I got in trouble a lot because I was just bored and wanted to have fun. But the classes that were fun in learning, I did well in. So.
Because I didn't want to get in trouble. My dad would, just kill me. He wouldn't let me get anything lower than B. So I was a good student, but I started loving school when I got to college and really started learning a lot more. Barbara Barnes was a professor I had at Berkeley. She taught gender women's studies. I loved her a lot. I took a ton of her classes.
Oh, school was huge for me. I love school. Them to have Teacher Appreciation Day a week means a lot because I think education is what drives all of us, especially athletes. I think my favorite teacher was my high school biology teacher. She was just so passionate all the time. She's always high energy, and I still remember the stuff that I learned. I can definitely say I had some great teachers. I still remember my first grade teacher, Miss Grady. Shout out to her. I always studied extremely hard just because I had to get good grades. So I took my academics just as serious as I took my basketball.
The biggest lesson that you've learned on the court, in the classroom, what lesson would you want to impart to students today?
I think just love yourself. I think one of the things that I learned, because I have a lot of low self-esteem, and I'm a teacher myself too. I teach in Puerto Rico. I'm a PE teacher, and I love to teach.
My favorite teacher was my gym teacher, and the reason why, because he told me it's not all about sports. And he's the one that made me realize that academics are important in going to class, and eventually English became one of my best subjects because I enjoy reading. This coach kind of jerked my chain a little bit and told me basketball's not going to always be there. I didn't believe him at the time, but that's what I try to tell young people now, and especially, it's going to stop bouncing. Never thought Kobe Bryant would retire, Dr. J, Michael Jordan, Michael Cooper, but it ends, so you have to have a good head on your shoulders.
So my favorite teacher, I think, was my calculus teacher in high school because he thought I couldn't do it, and I had to prove him wrong, much like we have to prove everyone wrong about the W and prove how fantastic of a league this is, not just for 20 years of endurance, but for all the decades to come.
I'm Keisha Lee, and I hope you've learned your lesson. Class dismissed.